Hello and welcome to the show. Listen, we've got a great show planned for you. This year we've been talking about enjoy your dreams, live your dreams, and enjoy life. I always say enjoy everything. But anyway, it's all about live your dreams and enjoy life. This week's guest is none other than Mr. Howard Jackson, Chairman and CEO of HoJac Enterprises. So I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy because it's coming up next.
The Cecil Williams South Carolina Civil Rights Museum is the Palmetto State's first and only museum. It honors a generation of people, black and white, throughout the state of South Carolina who deserve to be remembered for their unselfish commitments and sacrifices. Enjoy an immersive and entertaining virtual tour. For more information, visit www.cecilwilliams.com.
Hello, everybody. It's Finkley of The Michael Finkley Show, and you're watching Gold right now. Why? You're watching The Tammy Show. Stay tuned.
Hello, welcome back to the show. I told you we've got a great show planned for you. We have a great guest on the show today. He's one of those phenomenal men in the community, and I want to introduce you to him. He's the chairman and CEO of HoJac Enterprises, none other than Mr. Howard Jackson. Come on out, Mr. Jackson.
Hello, Tammy. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. Excited about having you on the show so that people could learn about who Howard Jackson is and HoJac Enterprises. And so, I always begin the show with asking my guests, if someone comes to you and they say, hey, tell me, who is Howard Jackson? What do you say?
I say I'm Howard Jackson. I'm from Orangeburg, local kid. Educated here, Orangeburg Wilkinson High School, South Carolina State University, 28 years military. I did some law enforcement, but most of my career has been around public service. As such, that's why we created HoJac Enterprises in 2005 to continue that work in the community.
Well, first of all, I do want to say thank you for 27 years. My brother also served and did 25 years, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I always have to salute the men and women that served our country to keep us safe. So again, thank you.
You're welcome. That. Thank you.
As we were talking earlier, and I asked you about, we're coming up on this Father's Day, mm-hmm. where people are honoring their fathers.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked you about children that you mentor, that you teach. What are some of those lessons that you're teaching the children in your village about life?
Mm-hmm. Well, I have a host of nieces and nephews. I'm Uncle HoJac to them, okay?
Uncle HoJac, all right.
One of the main things I try to teach them is to be accountable. Say what you mean and mean what you say. And own everything that you do. Don't give excuses. No one likes excuses. But it's not just my nieces. Our fraternity, we do an annual boys camp where we've been doing that for about 20 years now, where we mentor 100 boys in the Orangeburg, Calhoun communities. Everything from how to tie a tie, how to help around the house with their mothers and fathers, dishes, and how to change a tire. Some practical things, but we also teach them conflict resolutions. We do a lot with academia as well. So it's not just folks that have my last name, but, the old adage, it takes a community. It takes a community, village, that kind of thing. That's
right. Yeah. That's right. And that's why I asked, because we have all of these young people that we're surrounded with, and they look at what we're doing. Mm-hmm. And so we want to always emulate and make sure that we show them, hey, this is how you are, as you said, being accountable. So my question to you is, what fraternity?
Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
I should have known. Purple and gold, I should have known. Yes. Although you have on the blue today and looking very distinguished. But it's so important, as you said, that we teach them accountability, conflict resolution, all the things that go along with just becoming adults, just learning how to exist and becoming viable citizens in our society. So as we're talking about that, I want to switch and ask you about HoJac, because you said they call you Uncle HoJac. So where did the name come from? I know where, I can only imagine, but tell us about HoJac Enterprises.
The name is a combination of Howard Jackson, HoJac.
Right.
Okay, so it's kind of simple. But HoJac Enterprises, we've been around since 2005. Healthcare, housing, education, those are our focal points. We've done about 25 to 50 full rehabilitation programs for senior elders in the community, anywhere from brand new HVAC units, their roof repairs, ramps. It's not a home makeover show that we do, okay? It's more the health and safety issues that we do. And we focus around our seniors because they need the most help. South Carolina can get real hot over in the summer. And I'll tell you a funny story. We put a new HVAC unit into a home in Bowman. It's about 10 years ago. And I went to go, I always go and review the work when they're done. And I was sitting in a living room and I was warm. I said, ma'am, is your air conditioner working? And she said, yeah, that thing gets too cold. She had never had central heating here. And we put this in the house and she said it was too cold. And I was sweating profusely, okay?
You had your suit and tie on, right? The jacket.
No, I had a polo shirt on.
Wow, that's a good one. That's a good one. So what was your inspiration for starting your business, HoJac Enterprises?
We just saw a need in the community that was not being fulfilled. We have limitations with the fraternity. We have limitations with the military. There's only so much you can do. So we wanted to take the gloves off. Anything we wanted to do, we wanted to do as an organization. And we wanted to do it here, where the founding board members, all of us are from Orangeburg. And so we all have a passion to help people, and, we don't come from, affluent families. So, but we all made it through education. We all have bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, those things. And we just felt that because, some people helped us that we didn't know. So we have a duty and an obligation to help those as well.
That's right. There's that responsibility again.
Yes.
That you're teaching the young people about in the community. So when someone's looking at this and they're saying, well, how do I get in touch with HoJac, and what does it take for you to help someone in need?
Well, to get in touch with us is hojac.org. And that's real easy. No K, HOJAC, no K, .org. And they can go to the website and get information. We actually partner with the State Housing Authority with those housing programs. We're actually looking to do an assisted living facility in the next year as well. Again, a need. We want to have a quality assisted living facility. When you look around Orangeburg and just other places, you see assisted living facilities that were old houses that were transformed into assisted living facilities. We want to have a real facility, where we can have nurses come in, doctors come in, and they can have all of their needs taken care of right there. So that's what we want to do on the horizon now. But
wow, that's going to be exciting, especially here in Orangeburg. That's something that's needed everywhere, but in the community of Orangeburg, most definitely.
Yes.
So as I'm thinking about HoJac Enterprises, does HoJac Enterprises also address homelessness?
That's a very good question. I'm glad you brought that up, Tammy. We're actually co-sponsoring a homelessness awareness symposium on June 13th at the Orangeburg County Library. We're inviting the school district. When I met with some folks a few months ago, I was informed that one of the representatives, she was able to identify 13 homeless female students in the school district. Okay. So we're going to partner with the school district, the universities, and also mental health, DSS, and some of those people as well. The VA as well, because as soon as you call the VA, again, I'm a veteran. First thing they ask is, are you homeless, or, are you getting ready to be homeless. So they have services, but we just need to have a centralized location where folks can come together. And the name of it, Tammy, is Hiding in Plain Sight.
Wow. I love it.
Yes.
I love that. I love
so
that.
we're really trying to do something to address this issue. My neighborhood, we discovered an elderly white couple squatting behind one of the homes in my neighborhood last year.
Wow.
And a friend of mine, she and her husband discovered a dead homeless man in their yard. This was December 2022. So people think we don't have a homeless issue here in Orangeburg County because you don't see the tents and other things, but it's here. And, they just want to be, seen and be respected just like everyone else. So that's what we're trying to do as well.
That's right.
Interesting tidbit, Tammy. A few of them actually go to work every day. They just don't have to.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So we're trying to address all of those issues. And this is the first step in addressing those issues.
Right. Because, and we've heard this before through a lot of people. I mean, it's only just everybody is living just one paycheck away.
Yes.
Just one
paycheck away. Yes.
And so when I think about that, I think about how blessed we are.
Yes.
And what we can do to bless others and how we can do that. So I want to keep up with you as well about that. And you said
Absolutely.
That's June the 13th.
Yes.
At the library. Okay. And so when it comes to HoJac Enterprises, those partners that you have, how do they help you, or how do you cultivate those relationships and make sure that you have the right partners with HoJac?
Well, it's all about collaboration. We can get a lot accomplished when we work together. There's only a limited amount of resources available. So the more collaborations that we have, the more people we can reach. And a very important point is, once you have a centralized location, someone may not know of services because, things are fragmented. But if you have a centralized place, then they may come for one thing and we'll be able to get them something else. For an example, the coaching program at Vote Rehab. A lot of businesses didn't know that. They'll actually pay for 2 weeks of the salary for that person that works there. And they'll even come and shadow that person while they're there. So there's no financial liability on the business if they want to hire one of these people. So wow. And a lot of businesses just don't know that.
They don't know that. And so that's another aspect of bringing the community together. Now,
Yes.
when we talk about HoJac Enterprises, one thing that I always ask business owners is, what were some of those obstacles that you faced as you were starting HoJac Enterprises, if you had any?
Oh, how much time do we have? Yes, Tammy. We would go around to mainly organizations, DSS, some of these places, and a lot of them have been really helpful, but a lot of them were not helpful at all. They looked at us as not being serious, and a lot of things we didn't know. We didn't know that at that point you needed a 501c3 status in order to receive funds and some of those things. So we had to go through that process. And then it was just so many hurdles and bumps that we had to go through. So one of the things we do now, Tammy, is we try to mentor other 501c3s or organizations that want to help people. So they hopefully won't have to go through the pitfalls that we had to go through as well.
Right.
It's all about, paying it forward.
That's right. That's right. Well, Mr. Howard Jackson, we're going to take a break,
okay.
And we're going to come back. And when we come back, I'm going to ask you about what's happening now with Howard Jackson.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We'll be right back, folks.
Okay.
The Orangeburg County Conference Center supports downtown Orangeburg and our surrounding communities. The 6,000 plus square foot space is ideal for groups of up to 400 people attending corporate meetings, conventions, workshops, and special events. Conference Center staff are inspired to ensure that everyone can enjoy the modern amenities. State-of-the-art ballroom that accommodates up to 400 guests banquet style and 430 guests theater style. A warming kitchen with hot boxes, ice machine, refrigerator, freezer, and counter space. A lobby that accommodates 150 guests with special events outdoors. The comfortable outdoor amphitheater has a video wall and seating. Adjacent to the amphitheater is 12,000 plus square feet of green space that extends events outside, plus complimentary on-site event parking and additional parking across the street. Your event can take place all in one spectacular location. We welcome your special event in Orangeburg.
Stay tuned. You are now watching the Tammy Show. This is Roger Gas. Welcome.
Welcome back to the show. You know, if you are just joining us, I'm talking with Mr. Howard Jackson of HoJac Enterprises Incorporated. And we've been having a great chat about all the things that are about community and how we can help our community. So again, welcome back, Mr. Howard Jackson.
Thank you, Tammy.
So I told you, we talked about what HoJac Enterprises does, how you started it, the obstacles that you faced, all the things about what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Now, I want to talk about your biggest accomplishments that you can think about that's happened in your life.
The biggest accomplishment in my life would probably be when I was elected as the 6th District representative. That's like the regional president for Omega Psi Phi, which is North and South Carolina. I ran against 5 people and I won on the first ballot. Wow. So yeah, really impressive. Wow. Really.
Yeah, that's impressive.
But it gave me a mandate, Tammy, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't let the brothers down. So we did a whole lot of things. So I was really pleased with the whole 2 years that we had with that. You know, and again, a lot of it was community focused. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All the communities in North and South Carolina. When the hurricanes came, we gave gift cards to those families. I went personally to deliver the gift cards to those brothers and those families, which, you know, I've never been through a hurricane as an adult. But when you lose everything, you know, and someone comes just to, you know, give you a gift card. Yeah. The tears, you see them grown men cry and those things that knowing that, you know, we care about them. So that meant a lot to me.
It means a lot. So let's talk about Howard Jackson now.
Okay.
What are you doing and that you can tell us about and that you're involved in that makes the community have to rally behind you?
Okay, 2 things. Number one, I was a board member of the South Carolina State University Real Estate Foundation. And a few years ago, they asked me to temporarily step down to become the interim executive director. And some of the things we're doing, Tammy, the Railroad Corner Project, we're heavily involved in that. We've been meeting with the developers the last couple of months, actually, to bring student housing, which is needed at South Carolina State. And also on Russell Street, there's going to be another student housing development over there as well. The old bank downtown, I don't know if you're familiar with the First National Bank downtown. Well, the Real Estate Foundation, we actually own that now as well. And we're going to be converting that into some type of community facility downtown as well, so the university can have a presence down there. So all of that is with the Real Estate Foundation. Howard Jackson, I'm also a candidate of Orangeburg County Council.
All right.
All right. Election is June 11th, and it's community focused. Couple of things, I kind of mentioned the homeless piece earlier. That's integral part of our campaign. We really want to do something about the homeless population here. The other thing is we want to have a countywide parks and recreation department. You know, Orangeburg County, unfortunately, is just one of 3 counties that does not have a parks and recreation department. So I want to make sure we have one. You know, Tim, we can't say we want to keep kids off the streets, you know, out of gangs and in school and not provide outlets for them to be successful. Again, when I grew up, I was always involved in something. You know, I asked my mother late, I said, you just wanted me out of the house. Is that what it was? Because, you know, I never spent a summer at home. I was always in some type of activities, you know, school related stuff.
Right.
But what that did was, you know, I got a chance to meet new people, different people every year. So I have no issues, you know, meeting people and identifying with people and helping people as well. So, but yeah, so that's why we decided to, you know, run for county council. Yes, ma'am.
So if you're successful with this election, let's talk about the first 100 days. What do you see? Where do you see yourself, and what do you want to accomplish during that time?
Okay, one of the first things, you know, folks always talk about economic development. I want to get the economic development executive director and other council members who would want to come with me, travel to both Columbia and Charleston to see. We've been hearing, Tammy, about businesses coming to Orangeburg County, okay? But it's been a slow process. Let's go, you know, not call on the telephone, get in the car, let's drive to them. Okay, what do you need from us to come to Orangeburg County? We want to make sure we get that taken care of. I mentioned already the Parks and Recreation Department, see what we need to do to get that done. When I used to work in Orangeburg County, and one of the things that I think would be a benefit to Orangeburg County, this is something I borrowed from the military, so it's not original, Tammy, okay?
Okay.
We have what's called an idea program, which means if Tammy comes up with an idea, we vet it, and if it's successful, you will get 10% of the actualized savings. Okay? So what that means is who's best suited to know where we can, you know, tighten our belts than the people who are actually working. And Tammy, let me tell you, I was in these meetings and saw these gentlemen on stage getting $10,000, $25,000 checks, okay? And you got a $10,000 check, that meant you saved the Air Force $100,000.
That's right. That's right.
So that's one thing that I think, and you will have a more engaged workforce, I think, once you do that. And then we need to look at our pay structure at the county as well. Tammy, McDonald's is paying $30,000 a year now, you know, so we have to really look at what our pay structure is in Orangeburg County to make sure that we're retaining the quality people and we can attract quality people as well.
Yeah, because how important is that for you? Because we have 2 HBCUs here. It's a college town. As I say, you know, when we go to Columbia and we see USC, or we go to Clemson, we see what's happening in that town. Here in Orangeburg, because we have 2 college towns, how is it that we can, or what can be done to retain those graduates here in Orangeburg County? What are your ideas?
I think you left off Orangeburg Calhoun Technical College as well.
Oh, I'm sorry, you know, Orangeburg Technical College. Yes, I can't. Forgive me, President Tobin.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, I used to work at Claflin, okay, and now I'm a graduate of South Carolina State, and you know, I work for the Real Estate Foundation, which is not under the umbrella of South Carolina State, but you know. So I'm intimately involved in what happens. And through our fraternity, of course, you know, we mentor the young men at both Claflin and South Carolina State. We need quality of life things here, Tammy. We really don't have, let me pause. Claflin has a brand new theater.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the Divine Nine, we bought the theater out next Friday. The Bad Boys, I think, Bad Boys 3.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're going to go to our, you know, premiere that Bad Boys 3. So we're trying to show the community that we have a theater now. Let's utilize that theater. And the Divine Nine is trying to be on the, you know, the leadership role to make that happen. But we need to have more quality of life things. You know, most major cities, Greenville included, they have a river. We have a river. Right, the Edison River, and they made Greenville, the river, a central part of Greenville. Let's make Edison Gardens and the river down there a central part of downtown. You know, we have the beer garden down there and some other things, but we need to provide an outlet for young people. So Friday they're not going to Columbia, they're not going to Charleston.
Charleston, that's right.
And they can spend some of those dollars here. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
But they need to have We need to have workforce housing for them. Okay, because housing now has gotten real expensive, really expensive. So we need to have quality workforce housing, not affordable housing. That's a whole different umbrella. For these young folks, we need workforce housing. Mm-hmm. Studio apartments downtown and some of those things can keep them there. So, well, first of all, they need to be paid well. We need to make sure that we have jobs here that can keep them here, and activities that are also going to keep them here as well. That's going to be a big part of what we talk about, meeting with the presidents on a regular basis to see what are your needs from the county. And the county, this is what we can do with you guys as well. So it's going to be a give and take, Tammy, with that.
Wow. Well, excited about hearing all the things that you're doing and what you want to see here in Orangeburg County once that election happens on June 11th.
Yes.
So, I always ask everyone before we close out, one, I'm going to ask you, what is your philosophy that you live by?
It's real. My philosophy is real simple. Mean what you say and say what you mean.
Got it. Got it. And then when we talk about, if anybody's looking at this interview, what's the takeaway that you want them to glean from this interview?
Listen, I grew up in Orangeburg, single family home. If I can make it and be successful, anyone can, because again, the village raised me. I can point to a lot of folks who touched me as I matriculated through school and did some other things, even in the work field when I was working some other folks as well. So I want to make sure that, I want to be a bridge builder to make sure that, even though some people may look at me as being successful, that I want to make sure that, we reach back and, lifting as we climb to make sure that we're all successful. That kind of thing. Yes.
Wow.
And we're only as strong as the community we live in. Tammy.
That's right, Howard. And so what's next for you personally? What's next for Howard?
Oh man. So hopefully, when I'm on county council, we're going to really try to transform Orangeburg County like, they've never seen. But I mentioned the assisted living facility as well, making those things happen. But I really want to be community focused in this community and continue to help people as much as we can.
Wow. And 3 words that describe you?
Honest, blunt, and charismatic.
All right. Got it. I got all 3. Honest, okay. Honest, blunt, and charismatic. Yes. Listen, Howard, it was a pleasure talking with you and learning about you and all that you're doing in the community. And I wish God just continues to bless you with everything that he has in store for you and how he does it. How he does it. Mm-hmm. He does it well. Right. And so I just I'll be continuing to pray for you.
Thank you, Tammy. It was a pleasure having me. I appreciate that. Yes.
Yeah, thank you again. And thank you again for your service. And listen, HoJac, Uncle HoJac.
Uncle HoJac. Yes.
Uncle HoJac, you take care of yourself and many blessings. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Hey, folks, listen, that was Mr. Howard Jackson, HoJac Enterprises, the chairman and CEO. When I tell you he's got a lot to talk about and a lot for you to hear. Now, remember, Orangeburg County does have the election on June the 11th, so you've got to get out and vote. Howard, that's one thing we didn't talk about was to make sure that people get out and vote, but I'm going to continue to talk about that. And then, of course, if you want to learn about the homeless symposium that they're doing, Hiding in Plain Sight, that's June the 13th, I believe that's what you said, at the Orangeburg County Library. Okay, so Willie, can we go ahead and show Mr. Howard Jackson's handles so that if people want to get in touch with him, you can go to HoJac, H.J. Jackson at HoJac.org. Correct, Howard? And then, of course, you can call him at 803-707-0907. All right, that's how you can get in touch with Mr. Howard Jackson. Again, thank you so much, Howard, for being on the show. It was a pleasure. May God continue to bless you. Listen, folks, I thank Mr. Howard Jackson, but we can't do it without you. We want to thank you for always tuning into Tammy right at the Tammy Show, the Tammy TV Show YouTube channel. You know, we have a special guest for you next week that's going to be joining us. But I want to thank, as always, my producer, Alicia, my assistant producer, Willie. Thank you. And of course, Tiana, Felicia, and everyone that helps with us putting this together. Please remember to subscribe to the Tammy TV Show. That's a YouTube channel. Hit that red subscribe button so they can notify you when we're coming on. Remember, let's be a blessing to somebody today and every day, because somebody needs to hear from you. And if you can give them that smile, or you can knock on that door, or you can call them on the phone, make sure that you do that and check on somebody today. I hope you do that. Thank you again. And until the next time, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.